we just got out seeing the new movie Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And what are your first thoughts on it?
The first thing, I thought it was going to be actors, but it's not. so
Imagine knowing so little about a movie, you didn't know it was going to be animated.
I know. Can you imagine that? Because
Yeah.
I wanted to bring you, because I know you wanted to see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I really didn't find out anything about it.
No.
But I loved it.
Yeah.
I like it's something different from what you used to see.
When you saw that it was animated, did you think it was going to be like childish or?
Yes. My first thought was, oh my God, I'm going to spend 2 hours on something in a child movie, you know?
Yeah.
But then it completely changed my mind. I loved it so much. All my nails came out.
Tell them how you chewed your nails because you were anxious.
Yes, I chewed all my nails. Not because I was bored, but because the movie was so different.
You got that invested in the movie that made you that nervous.
Yes, I did. I went to the bathroom for the first time, rushed and back. It didn't even take me a second to go.
Yes, because you came back faster this time, I noticed.
All right. I was very invested in it. I
don't think I've ever seen you this invested in a movie we've gone to see before.
Because
honestly,
it's different. You just don't want to lose it.
Would you say you went through a character development with this movie? You went from thinking you're gonna hate it to maybe saying it was like your favorite so far you've seen?
Yes, I think this is my favorite because it's something different. Because you used to see the same things over and over, but this they really completely did it differently.
Yeah.
I mean, don't you think?
Yeah, and one of the advantages these Spider-Verse movies have is that it's animated, so it can tell a story in the visual way very interesting. Because they use the fact that this is an anime movie to their advantage, because there are a lot of very pretty and beautiful shots.
Special effects.
No, they're just like animation. Like when you look at the background sometimes, or the way they use coloring.
Yes.
Is like very nice.
Very.
And very well done with like the scene.
Yes.
It's like there was like this one scene, and we're gonna put spoiler warning for this review. But there was this one scene near the end when the character Gwen was talking to her dad, and it was like an emotional.
You saw that part? I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it was like it's an emotional scene, and
then the colors.
And the colors in the background looks like it's dripping, like it got wet.
Right.
And it's like in the what's the word I want? Like make it more like how emotional the scene is without like a subtle way in the background, like the colors start drooping, like
it was crying, the colors.
Yeah, like they got wet or something.
Right. And then when they finally
when they got like they talked it through and they made up, the colors are more solid, and that was like a really pretty visuals.
I agree with you. I agree. And through the whole movie, you see that.
Yeah.
And I guess because if animated, they could do those things.
Yes.
Yes, I agree. I agree. And it gives you a very big perspective of worlds or life or how different people can be.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Well,
like it's one person can be so many things.
So many people. I feel like it's like so many people could be one thing because
I'm sorry.
We have so many different characters, but the one thing that brings them together is like the tragedy they are going to go through in life. But the fact that they take that tragedy to become like a better person and just try and help people. And like basically
better or worse,
the moral of Spider-Man, like become Spider-Man.
Right. I mean, the movie to me, I'm not sure like everybody, but I think it's fascinating because it shows you a lot. Being animated, you can see so much.
Yeah.
Like that you cannot enjoy in other kind of movies, you know?
Yeah. We talked about animation. Very good. They lean into the fact that it's based on comic books because there's a lot of shots that are clearly influenced by the style of a comic that are very nice. What's next? Let's talk about some of the characters. What did you think of
Peter?
No, what did you think of Miles?
Miles.
Because this is like your first time watching this because you didn't see the first movie, but like, what do you?
Miles the girl.
No, Miles is the main one.
Oh, okay. Something that kind of caught my attention.
What?
They make him like his roots are Hispanic.
Yeah, he is African American and Hispanic roots.
Yes. Right. So for the first time we see a Spider-Man, even if it's animated.
Yeah.
Different, you know?
Yes.
So I think that's one thing that caught my attention.
I think.
What
well,
about
I mean that was relatable coming from like a Spanish-speaking household, and me personally being a Spanglish, like saying Spanish, and then like just reverting to English when I don't know a word. Because there's like a small scene where like he does that with his mom. And
I know, and she goes, "What's that, Spanglish?" So I was cute, you know.
Yeah, that's a very relatable thing if you come from a Spanish house.
To me, 100%, because I'm like Spanish mom. So yes,
I think the thing they set up with his parents was nice, you know, because like the strain on the relationship because he's like always out somewhere
doing something. And
yeah, because he's Spider-Man, but they don't know, so he's like keep making stuff up, and they think like
he's doing something.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I agree. What's something else? Something else. Peter.
Yeah, the Peter.
In this one.
The main one from the first one. He has a development where he gets with.
A spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler, I guess, but he gets with the Mary Jane of his universe, and they have a kid, a daughter.
Yes.
Who's in the movie? It's cute.
It's cute. It's a nice development. What else? Let me see.
What about Gwen? The one with the white and pink, the blonde hair.
She's very young.
What do you think of her?
I like her. She's tough.
Yeah.
She's smart. And
there was like a summary of her backstory at the beginning, what happened to her in her universe and how she became Spider-Man or Spider-Woman in that universe. And like how the Peter in that universe, what happened with him, and her thing with her dad who like almost kind of arrests her even when he finds out it's her, which is kind of messed up, but like I guess he gets better when she comes back, so
right. It's just like is that kind of movie you gotta see.
There's so many things
going on
that you can't like say one, like you gotta see it for yourself.
Right. There's a lot of things happening all at once. Right?
Yeah, and there's also a lot of characters that we can't. There's like so many characters that are just there as like a brief cameo to like reference them because they were in the comics.
Right.
Like there was a reference to I don't remember I think it was Sun Spider, the Spider-Man that is in a wheelchair. There was another reference to
with
Ben.
the horse.
There was the one with the horse. He's like, draw. You didn't wait for what? Or three.
It's complicated. I mean,
there's Ben Reilly's Scarlet Spider. There was a reference to the video game Spider-Man from Insomnia, those new games, which is very appropriate because that new Spider-Man game is going to come out soon, so that's an appropriate reference.
Right. Let me see what else.
There was reference to the live action Spider-Man. Miguel mentions the MCU one at one point.
Right.
There's a quick mention of there's a lot of cameos. There's a mention of Andrew Garfield. You see a brief shot of Tobey Maguire too. You see a cameo from a character from the Venom movies.
Right. Uh-huh.
The Asian lady when Spot is like traveling.
I mean, let me tell you, it's a movie to watch.
Yeah.
In order to make sense and understand.
Okay, wait, before we move on
Uh-huh.
from all the characters,
Uh-huh.
what did you think of Spider-Man 2099, Miguel? The one halfway.
Oh, the one that wants to control the
Yes.
whole universe of Spider-Man.
Yeah, what did you think?
I don't know. He seemed like too controlling. He wants to control like the future.
Like I think he was intended to be an antagonist, kind of, but like,
With its side so good.
yeah. Well, like one of those bad guys who thinks he's doing good by what he's doing.
Right, but
He's not going about it the right way.
exactly right. So that's what I think of him as well.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like they because he appears like halfway through like at the beginning and halfway, and you do get his backstory real quick. But it's like I feel like they didn't do a lot with him. Like he's introduced as calm and then like he immediately goes like upset, like 180.
Yeah, and I think they're doing all this because obviously.
I mean, they're gonna probably do more in the third one. So like.
Right, they're gonna do like quite a few, but the ending. Are we already up to the ending?
Not yet. Let's
Okay.
keep.
Um,
What about the Spot?
I like the villain.
You liked him?
You know why I like it? Because there's so much you could do with it.
Yeah.
He wasn't like important. Like you don't see that much. Really think about
At the
it.
beginning, you think he's just gonna be like the one-off villain for like the beginning, and then like you're gonna get like the real villain later on. But like, turns out, no, he is the main villain, and he becomes pretty intimidating. Like they give him like a kind of development
Right.
to becoming more intimidating.
As the movie progresses.
Like he's just not like he's not like a joke, and he like points that out. Like I'm not a joke.
Yeah. Like, and he's smart.
Yeah.
This is
So
like
his backstory is like he used to be a scientist. So like
Right.
they acknowledge that as like he is a smart guy. So like,
he is like that kind of villain that has smart.
he's a villain that doesn't really have brawn, but he has the smarts, and that can probably make him more intimidating.
Right.
If
I think so. And then he is slippery, you know?
yeah, because he has like his holes that he can like use to escape.
And you can move. He can move quick. So,
He can move from places. He can move from multiverses later.
so he's gonna be a villain that I think they're gonna like kind of like use him a lot.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be more important in the third one because that's what they were saying. They were setting him up to be more intimidating in that one.
Oh, okay. But we'll still have to see the second one, which I'm dying to see. I wish it comes out like tomorrow. So I
Yeah,
can see
no, it does not.
It doesn't, right?
No, it did take a while to make. So,
Well,
um,
I'll be waiting for it because let me tell you,
what?
there's so much you could talk about. Like you could spend.
You can spend a long time talking about this movie.
Yeah, because as we go, then I start thinking of this one, that one. But
Let's just mention a quick character we don't have a lot to say, but we think was funny. I thought the
Rocker,
rocker, the spider punk,
Yeah.
hobby, whatever.
Hobby, right?
Like
Oh,
a
what about
British-
the Indian one?
the Indian one? Paviteer. I can't say his name right now.
The Indian one.
Paviteer. I'm sorry.
Him and Hobby, they're like nice characters,
Yeah,
and we'll see more of them, I'm sure.
they were cool.
What about the girl in the bike?
Oh, I think Jess was her name.
Right, and she's pregnant. Yeah, I'm telling you.
She didn't get a lot to do.
No.
Surprisingly,
No, just a few, but I'm thinking that all those characters on their
they'll
own.
play a bigger part.
Yeah, I'm thinking on this movie they just got introduced, and as we go, we're gonna start. This is gonna be like a long
It's gonna be a long journey.
journey. Yes, they just introducing. We're gonna see a lot of those.
There's like so many funny scenes that you can like just reference, like that scene where like she's talking about she doesn't know the gender of the baby because her husband wants to be surprised. She's like, he's corny but so hot.
Yeah, right. There's a lot of things that
And
are
then-
nice.
And then everything with Spider Punk, that's just like the equivalent of like a punk rocker who's like anti-establishment.
Right.
It's so funny. What does he say? He says something to the baby where he was like taking a crap on establishment or something.
Right. It's interesting. I mean, I like the movie. I mean, I think you should see it too. It's one of those where you gotta see.
And the thing was the traffic with the Indian one. Like here's the traffic over here, and this also has traffic.
Yeah.
And more traffic.
I do believe this. This is the kind of movie you either love or hate. No in between.
Yeah.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you agree?
Yes. Can we talk about... I feel like to get away from the character, from all that, I feel like the second half was fun, but the first half felt kind of slow, right?
Yes. And then it picked up.
And then the moment we went into the Spider Society place, it became more... It went by faster, but it also was fun.
But I think they had to do that to get introduced.
Yeah, but it also wasn't in the movie for very long, because we were like halfway through the movie at that point, surprisingly, right?
Yeah.
And that was like in all the promotional stuff, but like the movie picks up the moment we get to the spider place. But for the first time, it's just like Miles in his personal life and like stuff like that.
And then when the movie picks up, guess what?
It's over.
It's over.
Let's talk about the ending.
Yes, right.
Okay, so Miles escapes Miguel.
Mm-hmm.
He goes back home through this device that scans your DNA or something.
But he goes back to the wrong...
But because the spider that bit him was from a different dimension, it took him to the dimension that the spider was from, which had no Spider-Man. So now he's just in this, I guess, crime-invested universe.
Right.
Because there's no, like, Spider-Man, like, fighting the criminals.
Right.
And his dad is also dead in that universe.
Exactly.
And it's just his mom and his uncle.
So now he has to figure out how he's
gonna get back home. And it also ends with him being held hostage by like that version's
villain.
That universe's version of him, who is a villain.
Right. And a criminal.
Yeah, with his uncle, I guess.
But
also there's a Sinister Six shout out in the background.
Right.
There's a lot of references to not just Spider-Man, but also Spider-Man villains and stuff. There's like a fun Donald Glover cameo, like a live action.
Right. But then that's the cliffhanger. When you think it's picking up,
the Sinister Six cartel is what he said. Also, was that J.K. Simmons?
Like, I think so.
I think he came back to voice, right?
Yeah. And then that's it. It's over. And guess what? We have to wait until we see.
Yeah. And we also see Gwen maybe finding him with like other Spider-Men, like Noir and like Peter.
But she says something like,
and
I created my own...
I created my own band. With old friends.
Right, which is when the bike girl...
No, it was Indian Spider-Man, Spider-Punk, Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Ham. The girl the anime girl and the robot.
Right.
And Peter, I think, is also there.
Right. So that's the new band.
Yeah, that's her new team.
But we'll still have the society.
That's her own separate team.
I'm telling you guys, you gotta see the movie because...
Spider people. They go to try and help Miles. Miles is being held hostage. And Spider-Man 2099 and Jessica, Drew, Jess, I think, are still looking for him in the original dimension. And then it just ends there, and it ends on like this huge cliffhanger. Like Empire Strikes Back style.
Right.
With like a to be continued and everything. And now you gotta wait for like Beyond the Spider-Verse, which is what the sequel's gonna be called.
Yeah. And that's really it.
Yeah.
I think that's
it. That's all. Is that all?
Yeah, that's all.
Okay, do you want to... What's your rating? From 1 to 10.
I loved it. 10 because it's different. I lost my nails.
They're gone.
They're gone. I loved it. I give it a 10. I loved it because it's something new and different.
I liked it too. I feel like after I let it sink in. I'll appreciate how the movie starts off slower because it didn't immediately go into like the spider people. Because they knew who the main character was. The main characters you're supposed to care about.
Right.
Is it a 10 out of 10 for me? I think it is.
Alright.
I think it's a 10 out of 10 movie. I think this might be the first movie we gave a 10 out of 10.
Yes, I think so.
Who would have thought a Spider-Man movie would be our first, as animated, would be our first 10 out of 10 movie.
I'm not gonna know. But I really go see it, enjoy it, because it's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, also, if you're listening to this, tomorrow is Mia's birthday, so just send
tomorrow is my birthday, so it came out a day before my birthday, so
yes,
that's fun.
Yes. So we decided to go today because tomorrow is her birthday.
What a birthday gift. Right? Am I right?
Yeah. So that's all for me.
Yeah, so that's all for us. Yeah, I think that's it. If you are watching this and you have already seen into the Across the Spider-Verse, what are your thoughts on the movie? Comment below, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Just some fangirl out.